So my name is Nancy Grenier, and I work in environmental education and communication. I've been doing this kind of work for about 25 years. I hate to say that. I'd rather say it's only been 10 years, but it's been a little while. I started in this area right after college. I studied, after high school, I went into advertising and public relations on the advice of the career counselor. I didn't really agree with it at the time, but I did have an interest in writing. My writing was really strong. And I also knew that I had an interest in environmental conservation. I read a book in 1987 called After the Crash by Guy Dauncey, a writer who's based right here in Victoria. And I was living in Edmonton at the time, and I went to this book signing. So this guy is a hardcore environmentalist. So imagine this, Edmonton, Alberta, 1989, 1990, and this environmentalist comes to do a book signing. And I decided to go because I'd read the book, and it really spoke to me, and it really kind of rekindled my interest in doing a career in environmental conservation. So I thought, I'm going to go see this guy, see what he's all about. Well, it turns out there were 3 of us in the room with Guy, and so I got to meet him, and I had lots of, one-on-one time with him, got to talk with him, and that's what really got me decided and really sure that I wanted to work in an area where I could work on making things better from an environmental conservation perspective. But I didn't know how I was going to do that yet. So I was studying at the time in advertising and public relations, and that's when I decided, because when you're in school, you always have to take courses that you don't really have an interest in, right? So some of those courses that I had to take, I had to write radio advertising scripts, and we had to produce some of these scripts. And I tell you, after the second class, I knew that I did not want to I did not want to have a career where I would be writing radio ads for toothpaste. There's no way, I just couldn't do it. Some of my classmates were incredibly creative and witty, and they were really good at this. And it just I wasn't passionate about the content. I thought there's no way I could ever do a job where I'm not passionate about what I do. So it's for me, it wasn't the how, because education and communication is the tool. It's how you roll something out, how you get a message out, how you craft a message so it's meaningful to a specific audience, right? That, to me, that was the easy part, right? The hard part was to really figure out what it was that would really get me excited about doing that every day. And I knew after I met Guy that it was going to be on environmental issues.